Good evening. I will call to order the meeting of the Chautauqua County Legislature on March 25th, 2026. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Anthony.
Here.
Mr. Bukowski.
Here.
Mr. Buchanan.
Here.
Mr. DeJoy.
Here.
Mrs. Gustafson.
Here.
Mr. Harmon.
Here.
Mr. Heiser.
Here.
Mr. Johnson.
Here.
Mr. Larson.
Here.
Miss Lewis.
Here.
Mr. Merritt. Mr. Nelson.
Here.
Mr. Pavlak.
Here.
Mr. Penhallow.
Here.
Mr. Proctor.
Here.
Mr. Scudder.
Here.
Miss Vanstrom.
Here.
Mr. Whitney.
Here.
Chairman Chagnon.
Here.
Okay, there are 19 members present and there are 0 members absent. There is quorum.
And now we will have the prayer and pledge of allegiance by Legislator Lewis.
Dear God, I come to you with a bowed down head and a humble heart. I ask that you bless these proceedings. I ask you bless these public servants and make us always mindful of the needs of others. Through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And that brings us to the approval of the minutes of the county legislature at our February 25th meeting of this year. Do I have a motion to approve by Legislator Bankowski and a second by Legislator Gustafson? Any discussion on the motion to approve the minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? They are approved. And now we have our first privilege of the floor. Members of the public may comment on any subject relating to any local law, resolution, or motion appearing on tonight's agenda. Individual comments are limited to 3 minutes, and comments representing a group shall be limited to 5 minutes. First, to speak to the first privilege of the floor. Please introduce yourselves.
Good evening. My name is Shelley O'Boyle. I'm the project coordinator for the Clymer-Sherman-Panama Merger Study, Resolution 8326. I'm here with board leadership of all 3 districts, and they are standing with me tonight to demonstrate a unified front. On behalf of the districts, I want to thank the Planning and Development and Audit Committees for their time and for recommending our GRI assistant request for full legislative approval. We are here because the status quo is no longer sustainable. These districts each face a projected gap between revenue and expenditures of $2 million over the next 5 years. This is driven by steadily rising operational costs and decreasing enrollments. While the New York State Education Department requires this study for any merger, our leaders are pursuing it because it is the right thing to do. A project of this magnitude cannot succeed without support. We have been diligent in taking the pulse of the residents. We have conducted 2 comprehensive community surveys, one in May of 2025 and follow-up in February 2026. Both sets of data demonstrate clear community support for exploring this path. This project aligns perfectly with the GRI goals. By sharing services, we will reduce administrative overhead and redundant equipment costs and streamline services. Most importantly, we can provide a broader curriculum and more extracurricular resources than any single district can offer alone. I want to emphasize that these districts have significant skin in the game. The districts have already initiated the study and begun service sharing efforts despite the uncertainty of qualifying for funding at the start. Each district has also passed a formal board resolution committing up to $40,000 of their own local funds. The districts have listened closely to their community's needs for transparent communication regarding the merger process and its potential benefits. Beyond just sharing information, they have a responsibility to educate the public on the fiscal challenges they face and the proactive steps they are taking to avert long-term financial insecurity. The GRI money will allow the districts to conduct the meaningful outreach and public education necessary for every resident to make an informed decision regarding the merger. We are asking for your partnership through the GRI to complete this state-mandated process. This is a proactive, fiscally responsible move to protect our taxpayers and ensure our students have the future they deserve. Thank you for your time and for your commitment to these schools and their communities.
Thank you. Is there anyone else wishing to address the first privilege of the floor? Anyone else? Seeing no one, I will close the first privilege of the floor. And now on our agenda this evening, we have 3 commendations. The first commendation is for the Jamestown Community College boys hockey team, the Upstate New York Collegiate Hockey League champions. And I will invite County Executive Wendell to come down and make the presentation.
In true fashion, we will not hold any of the players or parents after the commendation is given. But the JCC men's hockey team has been in existence 2 years and risen to the top of their league. So it says a lot about not only the athletes, but the commitment of our coaches in Jamestown Community College. Letter of commendation, whereas the Jamestown Community College Jayhawks men hockey team, in just their second season of existence, has achieved remarkable success, culminating in winning the 2025-2026 Upstate New York Collegiate Hockey League Division III Championship. And whereas over the course of 7 months, the team has demonstrated unwavering dedication and perseverance, committing more than 100 hours to practice through early mornings and late nights, overcoming challenges and celebrating triumphs, all while united by a common goal of becoming champions. And whereas the Jayhawks completed an outstanding regular season with an overall record of 13-7-1 and an impressive divisional record of 7-0-1, securing first place in the UNYCHL Division III Central Division. And whereas the season was highlighted by numerous memorable achievements, including a decisive 9-3 season opening victory against Alfred State, thrilling 5-goal comeback victories against Canisius and Niagara County Community College, an 8-3 win during the annual Teddy Bear Toss against the University of Rochester, and a meaningful 3-2 victory over St. Bonaventure on Landon Strong Night. And whereas entering postseason play with determination and confidence, the Jayhawks competed on home ice at Northwest Arena in Jamestown, energized by the support of their community, defeating Gannon University 7-3 in the semifinal before a crowd of more than 1,400 fans. And whereas on Sunday, February 22nd, 2026, the Jayhawks achieved a defining moment in program history by defeating rival Canisius University to claim the UNYCHL Division III championship title. And whereas through their commitment, teamwork, and sportsmanship, the members of the Jayhawks men's hockey team have built lasting friendships, created lifelong memories, and brought pride, recognition to Jamestown Community College in Chautauqua County. Now, therefore, I, Paul M. Wendell Jr., Chautauqua County Executive, do hereby congratulate the Jamestown Community College Jayhawks men's hockey team on their outstanding 2025 season and their UNYCHL Division III championship, and commend them for their excellence, dedication, and representation of our community. In witness whereof, I have hereto set our hand and caused the seal of the great county of Chautauqua to be affixed this 25th day of March 2026. So on behalf of myself and the residents of our county, if I could have Coach Tommy and Joe Gerasi come on up and accept this. It must be as you get older, you pay attention more, because I think this is the one team, respectfully, that has just about every team member here tonight. Usually we invite teams and not many can make it because of other commitments, but we'll go down through. Each certificate says the same, the number and name of the player for winning the 2026 Upstate College Hockey League Division III Championship through your leadership, commitment, teamwork, and sportsmanship. The Jayhawks men's hockey team have built lasting friendships, created lifelong memories, and brought pride and recognition to Jamestown Community College in Chautauqua County. signed by myself and today's date. So first up, James Anthony Rock. All right. Hockey player named Rock. That's pretty impressive, man. Cole Mazurko, number 3. Number 8, Burgin Nelson. Number 11, Brandon Smith. Number 14, Caden Johnson. Number 17, Colson Barber. Number 21, Christian Greaves. Number 22, Kyler Watovich. I have a lot of Ukrainian and Polish names in my family. There you go. K1 works. Number 23, Garrett Greaves. Number 25, Daniel Young. Number 27, Cooper Bergman. Number 29, Nate Stevens. Number 44, Staffy Theophylact. I was going to try to give it away on top. I'm sorry.
I don't even try that one.
I was trying. Number 47, Canyon Johnson. Number 73, John Paul Cavallo. Number 74, Nate Sirkew. Number 79, Cooper Shelters. And we have,
That's it.
okay. We also do have one for assistant coach Joe Gerasi. And head coach Tommy Gerasi. Not only they are formidable looking, but you add another 4 to 6 inches with a pair of skates, they get even more daunting when you look. But congratulations, gentlemen. Thank you so much.
Gather in the middle, gentlemen. We're going to get your picture. Gotta get closer. All the short guys up there.
Gather in. Back in.
Pretend you're checking somebody into the board. Take a look. Campuses in my district, I'm sure. Competition. Coaches on his toes. Yeah, it's an honor to.
Okay, and we have another commendation for Tom Erlandson, and I would invite the county executive to come down and join me for that commendation. Tom Erlandson recently found it necessary to resign from the Board of Directors of the South and Center Chautauqua Lake Sewer Districts after many, many years of service. So Chautauqua County announces the following commendation. Whereas Thomas A. Erlandson, Ph.D. of Frewsburg, New York, has faithfully served Chautauqua County as a member of numerous boards and commissions during his 40 years of service to Chautauqua County. Whereas Tom was a member of the South and Center Chautauqua Lake Sewer District Board, serving from 2012 through 2026. And whereas he also served on the Board of Health for 11 years and the Parks Commission for 14 years. And whereas, in addition to his exemplary service on those boards, he served as a Chautauqua County legislator from 1986 through 1989, and he served again from 2012 through 2013, and participated as a member of several legislature committees, including Agricultural and Economic Development, Environmental, Human Services, Public Facilities, and
Whereas Tom was involved with public health matters relating to Chautauqua Lake beginning in 1960. During the summer of 1964, he conducted a house-to-house environmental health study for the New York State Department of Health in some areas of the lakeshore. This led to the initiative to pursue public sewers around the lake. During the summer of 1982, he conducted a similar study for the County Health Department. Data collected during the study were similar to those obtained in the 1964 study, but involved South and Center service areas in the towns of Ellery, Ellicott, and Busti. The end result was the completion of the South and Center Chautauqua Lake Sewer Districts. Now therefore be it known that the Chautauqua County Legislature and the Chautauqua County Executive, Paul M. Wendell Jr., do hereby commend Thomas A. Erlandson, Ph.D., for his many years of dedication, service, and commitment to Chautauqua County while serving with distinction as a board member of the South and Center Chautauqua Lake Sewer District, the Parks Commission, the Board of Health, and as an esteemed member of the Chautauqua County Legislature, dated March 25th, 2026. On behalf of the Chautauqua County Legislature and myself, County Executive, commendation signed by myself and Pierre Chagnon, dated 25 March 2026.
thank you. Although Tom isn't able to be with us tonight, I'm hopeful that he's watching or will be watching the streaming of this meeting. Thank you. And that brings us to our third commendation.
Mr. Chairman,
Legislator Larson.
if I could, on Dr. Tom Erlandson, I had the honor and privilege of serving with him on the county legislature starting in 1986, 40 years ago. And he's not identified here as Dr. Tom Erlandson, but he was a JCC faculty member, a outstanding scientist, and incredibly dedicated public official. Dare I say that he was a Democratic county legislator, and he has the rare distinction of having been elected from two different parts of this county to serve on the legislature. At first, he was elected out of West Ellicott, town of Ellicott. His second stint, he was elected out of a district based in the town of Carroll, Frewsburg. Tom obviously was a fantastic public servant. The Erlandson Overlook in the town of Carroll is a lasting testament to his commitment to the environment, to the parks of Chautauqua County, and we're all in his debt, even if we didn't know him. You didn't know him. We're all in debt to the public service of Dr. Tom Erlinson. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. And now for the third commendation for the Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office Jail Health Services Program Accreditation Certificate by the National Commission on Correctional Health. So I would invite the sheriff to come down.
And unlike the county executive, I have 0 whereases. But I also want to be unlike the county executive and invite our team down to join me as I read this commendation. Yes, that's you. I see him looking around.
I know.
I think it's, and as they're working their way down here, I just want to add, I think it's important that we recognize each one of you county legislatures for supporting our operations in the jail and our accreditation efforts. Thank you. So, the Chautauqua County Jail has again earned accreditation from the National Commission on Correctional Health Care by demonstrating compliance with NCCHC's nationally recognized standards of care for correctional health service in jails. Reaccreditation recognizes the jail and its medical and behavioral health units' ongoing commitment to providing quality health services for the incarcerated population. Our jail was first accredited in 2023, and I think that was about a 2-year process, and has maintained its commitment to meeting the requirements described in NCCHC's standards for the past 3 years. To maintain the NCCHC accreditation, our facility underwent a rigorous professional assessment. During the assessment, a team of experienced physicians and experts in correctional health care surveyed the facility for compliance with jail-specific standards in several areas, such as patient care and treatment, health promotion, safety and disease prevention, governance and administration, personnel and training, special needs and services, and medical legal issues. We have a constitutional obligation to provide health care for those incarcerated in our jail, and we are committed to doing so with innovation, excellence, and efficiency. I salute the healthcare staff, our custody staff, and the leadership for their hard work and their dedication on behalf of our incarcerated individuals who are considered patients to this group here. I'd particularly like to thank our health services supervisor, Kathy Burgess, for working so diligently in maintaining the accreditation. She cannot do this without the assistance of all her staff, the mental health staff, Dr. Falk and Dr. Walters, and our correctional officers. NCCHC's highly respected standards have provided guidance to help correctional health professionals and administrators improve the health of the incarcerated population and the communities in which they return, increase efficiency of health services delivery, and strengthen organizational effectiveness, and reduce the risk of adverse legal judgments. The consensus-based standards are developed in consultation with national experts in correctional health care, mental health, law, and corrections. We, the Sheriff's Office, Public Health, our correctional health care, and mental hygiene departments are committed to quality standards based on correctional health care. The health of incarcerated people is a vitally important component of public health and public safety. Thank you very much. We're going to get a photograph here, but I often would say is, if it wasn't unethical, this would probably be my medical providers. They do a wonderful job in a population of patients who don't always seek treatment when they're not incarcerated. So when they're coming to our facilities, they're many times sicker than the general population, both physically and mentally. So they have a hard job, and they do it every day, day in, day out, many times on a moment's notice. We can't get appointments as quick as they have to give them to our incarcerated individuals. Okay. Move over here, please.
One thing I would like to add, the sheriff is very humble in his comments, especially these ladies, but we are the only county of our size, which is small, to achieve this accreditation. The people that achieve this accreditation are much, much larger than the Chautauqua County Jail. So hats off to the sheriff and the medical team behind us for providing such quality care. And as has been said, the quality of care in that jail rivals any local hospital here in Chautauqua County. So on behalf of myself and the residents, thank you for everything you do.
And next on our agenda, we have a proclamation proclaiming March as Choose to Include Month in Chautauqua County. So again, we'll invite the county executive to make the presentation.
If I could invite Janet Decker and her staff to come on down. Students, as we get started, this is something that, as a teacher of 25 years, has always been really important to me. When education first started, there were often special needs were in a small part, in a very remote corner of the school. What we're finding now is more inclusion. We do have unified sports, which is throughout the state of New York, which is incredible. It brings those students with disabilities to compete alongside athletes of regular caliber and competing and really making some lasting and bonding friendships. But again, individuals with developmental disabilities is something dear to my heart. I'll go back to a young boy that I had at Falconer who was Down syndrome and nonverbal. So I hadn't seen him in a couple years, and people wonder what happens when you can't speak, you can't communicate. And I would reach out to him, and I always would talk in a deep voice and call his name. And I would always say he couldn't see. He looked a little like Cousin Oliver, and his eyes were almost touching, and they were so crossed. But I'd walk up and say, "Sammy!" And he would always rub my beard, and that's how he knew it was me. I hadn't seen him in 3 years, and I walked into the classroom, and I saw him and used my usual tone, and he came running right over, jumped on my lap, and started rubbing. The principal had to walk out. She was in tears. But it just shows, even those with developmental disabilities, in the case of that young man who cannot speak, almost trapped in his own body, still provides such a unique experience to those and everything that we do in our lives. So it's a proclamation from the Chautauqua County Executive's Office, whereas the disability experience is a natural part of life and is valued as a part of our rich diversity. And whereas March has been recognized as Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month since 1987, when President Ronald Reagan issued a public proclamation urging Americans to provide individuals with developmental disabilities and encouragement and opportunities they need to lead productive lives. And whereas equitable experiences and full inclusion are a matter of social justice, and creating equitable, inclusive environments is a responsibility of everyone. And whereas inclusion is commonly defined as the practice of providing equal access to opportunities and resources for individuals who might otherwise be excluded or marginalized, including people with physical or intellectual disabilities and members of other minority groups. And whereas the most effective way to increase awareness is through everyone's openness to learn and acknowledge that there are systematic barriers that reduce the likelihood of those with disabilities from enjoying equitable experiences. And whereas people with intellectual and developmental disabilities are treasured members of our communities and deserve opportunities to live and learn in a safe and secure community environment. And whereas Chautauqua County recognizes the contribution of people with developmental and intellectual disabilities, as well as their advocates who work to expand opportunities to further enrich the lives of those with developmental and intellectual disabilities. Now, therefore, I, Paul M. Wendell Jr., Chautauqua County Executive, do hereby proclaim the month of March as Choose to Include Month and Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month in Chautauqua County, and urge all residents, public and private institutions, to recognize the ability of individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities to make significant contributions to our community. In witness whereof, I have hereto set my hand and caused the seal of the great county of Chautauqua to be affixed this 25th day of March, 2026, signed by myself. So again, congratulations on all you do.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Beth Ray, and I'm the Self-Advocacy Advisor for the Make a Mark Self-Advocacy Group out of the Resource Center in Dunkirk. First off, I'd like to introduce you to two of the self-advocates from our group, Mary Hayes and Jacob Vasquez. We would like to thank you for the opportunity to come here today and talk to you about Spread the Word for Inclusion and what it means to us as a self-advocacy group. Because many of the members of our group have experienced what it means to not be included due to their disabilities. Spread the Word for Inclusion is a global movement aimed at promoting respect, dignity, and inclusion for people with intellectual disabilities. It focuses on challenging derogatory language, particularly the R word, and encourages individuals to take the pledge to advocate for inclusivity for people with disabilities. This campaign is also aimed at encouraging people to stop using the word retard or retarded and using these terms in a derogatory manner. Over the years, this campaign has reached millions of people willing to take the pledge. The campaign has also grown in focus over the years on empowering grassroots leaders to change their communities, schools, and workplaces to be more inclusive to people with developmental disabilities. You can do this by making your school, workplace, and community more inclusive by simple gestures, like seeking out someone who has been left out or bullied. Be a friend, or just take the time to get to know someone before making assumptions. It's really that simple. So we wanted to say thank you to you all for making this pledge and recognizing this important campaign. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Janet Decker, and I have been a special education teacher for more than 25 years. In that time, I have often seen how individuals with disabilities experience isolation within their school communities. 6 years ago, that changed for our district when we launched our unified program through Special Olympics New York. This program brought students with and without disabilities, as you see behind me, together as true teammates. I will never forget our first clap out when my students walked through the halls on their way to their bowling championship, watching the entire school cheer for them and seeing them recognized as not Mrs. Decker's students, but athletes. I cried, as I'm trying not to do now. In that moment, they were just celebrated like any other champion in our school. Our commitment to inclusion extends beyond our athletes. Each year, on the first Wednesday in March, Global Choose to Include Day, the Make a Mark Self-Advocacy Group, along with other students and staff across the county and state, signed inclusion pledge cards, which were handed out to you by the self-advocates. Tonight, we have provided the pledge cards for every member of the legislature as well. By signing them, you stand with us in making inclusion both a value and a practice in Chautauqua County. Feel free to sign them and hang them in your office or somewhere around the community. March is recognized as nationally as Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month, and today it will also be recognized in our county as Choose to Include Month. Awareness is important, but inclusion goes further. Inclusion means ensuring that every person feels valued, respected, and able to participate fully in their community. When we choose to include, we improve life for everyone. On behalf of the Make a Mark Self-Advocacy Group and the students standing behind me, I want to thank you for your leadership. Our work began locally in Dunkirk and Hanover and began based on our research. Chautauqua County will be the first county in New York State to make this declaration. Next year, we plan to petition the governor to do the same statewide in collaboration with Special Olympics New York. Your action tonight will help to make that possible. Our long-term goal is simple, a future where inclusion is so automatic that pledge cards and declarations are no longer needed, because everyone already feels welcomed, accepted, and able to belong. Thank you for your time and your support as we work together to make a lasting difference.
All right. You all set? You're gonna take pictures. Okay. You want to be done with Mary? Mary, come over here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Okay, Olivia, back to you.
There are no veto messages from County Executive Wendell from the February 25th, 2026 legislature meeting. There are 4 communications listed on the agenda. If you would like a copy of any of these items, please let our office know.
Legislator Bankowski.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to block the 4 renew and amend resolutions, 185-25 through 10-26.
Okay, we have a motion to block the 4 renew and amend resolutions by Legislator Bankowski and a second by Legislator Gustafson. Any discussion on the motion to block? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? They are blocked. Legislator Bankowski.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to renew those 4 blocked resolutions.
Okay, we have a motion to renew all 4 and a second by Legislator Gustafson. Any discussion on the motion to renew the 4 blocked resolutions? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? They are renewed. Legislator Nelson.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to make I'd like to amend these resolutions.
To the copies
To
laid on the
copy
desk?
that is on the desk, yes.
Okay, we have a motion to amend the 4 blocked resolutions to the copies that are laid on the desk, and a second by Legislator Vanstrom. Any discussion on the motion to amend the 4 blocked resolutions? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? They are amended. Now, discussion on the 4 renewed and amended resolutions, 185-25, 202-25, 926, and 1026. Any questions, comments on any of the 4 blocked resolutions? Hearing none, all those in favor of the renewed and amended resolutions, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And 1 nay from Legislator Scudder. They are approved.
Resolutions 69-26, confirm appointment, Chautauqua County Ethics Board.
Any questions, comments on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
70-26, confirm appointment, Airport Commission.
Are there any comments or questions on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
71-26, authorize acquisition of avigation easement for property location near Chautauqua County airports.
Are there any comments, any questions on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 1 nay, Legislator Scudder. The resolution is approved.
72-26, authorize public hearing for supplemental agreement with the Federal Aviation Administration to construct, operate, and maintain navigational aids at the Chautauqua County Jamestown Airport.
Are there any questions, any discussion on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Legislator Scudder is a nay. It is approved.
73-26, authorizing public hearing regarding 2026 agricultural district inclusions.
Are there any comments, any questions on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
74-26, setting a second public hearing for Chautauqua County Microenterprise Assistance Program Community Development Block Grant.
Are there any questions or any discussion on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
75-26, amend 2025 budget for year-end reconciliations assigned council department.
Any questions, any discussion on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
76-26, amend 2025 budget for year-end reconciliation, Department of Mental Hygiene and Social Services.
Legislator Bankowski.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to amend 76-26 with the copy of the resolution that's been laid on all our desks.
Okay, we have a motion to amend and a second by Legislator Gustafson. Are there any questions or comments on the motion to amend? Hearing none, all those in favor of amending Resolution 76-26, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It is amended. Now, are there any comments, any discussion on amended Resolution 76-26? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It is carried. Legislator Bankowski.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to block 77-26 through 81-26.
Okay, we have a motion to block and a second by Legislator Gustafson. Any discussion on the motion to block resolutions 77-26 through 81-26? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? They are blocked.
77-26, amend 2026 budget for Departments of Planning in the Jamestown Airport. 78-26, amend 2026 budget for Buildings and Grounds, HRC. 79-26, amend 2026 budget to replenish the Lake Maintenance Fund. 80-26, amend 2026 budget, occupancy tax funded projects. 81-26, amend 2026 public health budget appropriations to accommodate acceptance of funds to support dental health workforce initiatives.
Are there any questions or any comments on any of the blocked resolutions 77-26 through 81-26? Legislator DeJoy.
Mr. Chairman, and Resolution 8026, I have a conflict and have to abstain from voting on that resolution due to the fact that one of the projects is to provide funding for permitting to dredge Dunkirk Harbor, because as I am directly involved with that project in my position with the city of Dunkirk.
Okay. Legislator Bankowski, considering that, would you like to unblock those resolutions so we can vote on them individually?
No.
No. Okay. Thank you for pointing that out. We appreciate you recognizing that potential conflict of interest. Any other questions or comments on the blocked resolutions? Hearing none, all those in favor of blocked resolutions 77-26 through 81-26, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? They are carried.
(82-26) Government Reduction Initiative Assistance for Town of Pomfret for sharing and consolidating of services between municipalities.
Any discussion, any questions on the resolution? Legislator Larson.
Mr. Chairman, my comments will apply to both Resolutions 82 and 83. I'm supporting the use of the county's unappropriated fund balance or slush fund for the consolidation or efficiency grants this evening. These requests have come from the bottom up. Especially appreciate the school representatives for being here tonight to publicly request our financial assistance. However, when the county executive in his 2025 election year announced his support for consolidation of local governments or efficiency improvements by local governments, he put $0 into his 26 budget for such an initiative. Why? Because putting, for example, $500,000 into his 26 budget for this initiative would have done one of two things. First, he and the Republican legislature majority would have had to raise the county property taxes by $500,000 and thereby raise the full value tax rate in an election year. Or second, he could have taken $500,000 out of the county's unappropriated fund balance or slush fund. The county executive and the Republican legislature majority could not do that because they had criticized the Democrats as being fiscally irresponsible for the Democrats' proposal to use just $2 million of the $35 million slush fund for a property tax cut for the taxpayers of Chautauqua County. It is appropriate to call it a slush fund, since as tonight's two resolutions prove, it can be used for anything. There's no emergency here. It was totally foreseeable last year that municipalities and school districts would ask for this money in 2026. The county executive made headlines since our last meeting with his proposal that the city of Dunkirk, town of Dunkirk, village of Fredonia, and town of Pomfret become one new municipality. As reported in the Post-Journal, when a Pomfret Town Board member wondered how a city like Dunkirk in New York State could even dissolve, the county executive is quoted as saying, "We don't know." I will save the taxpayers a lot of time and money by telling you tonight there is no provision of New York law that allows cities to dissolve. Villages can dissolve back into their town, as Cherry Creek and Forestville have done recently in this county, but cities cannot dissolve. It is not wise to go to war or for public officials to make public announcements of a goal without any plan of how to achieve your goal. At my committee meeting last week, our county planner confirmed that our own planning department had not been asked to do any, even preliminary analysis of how the city of Dunkirk, town of Dunkirk, village of Fredonia, and town of Pomfret could become one municipality. At my committee meeting, our sheriff confirmed he had not been asked to do any, even preliminary analysis of how public safety would be provided in such a municipality, where the city of Dunkirk and village of Fredonia have police departments, but neither the town of Dunkirk nor the town of Pomfret have police departments.
Excuse me, Legislator Larson, are you speaking about either of these resolutions?
Yes, I'm talking about using fund balance to provide this government reduction initiative. And I said I'm voting for them, but I'm explaining why, with another 60 seconds, I won't vote for any others that don't have the written requests from the municipalities involved. The county executive's announcement raises the question, does he support the concept of the city of Jamestown, town of Ellicott, town of Bustye, village of Lakewood, village of Sauron, and village of Faulkner becoming one new municipality in the South County? I will not support spending any of the county's slush fund on such off-the-cuff proposals by the county executive unless the municipalities involved ask us to do so. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments on Resolution 82-26? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried.
83-26, Government Reduction Initiative Assistance for Clymer Central School District for Clymer Sherman Panama Merger Feasibility Project.
Are there any questions, any discussion on the resolution? Legislator Proctor.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would just like to say, as a resident of the town of Mina, which is in the Clymer School District, and as a representative of the Sherman District and the Clymer School District, I'd like to commend the boards of all three schools and their consultant on the work they've done and coming to the county and asking for this assistance. I believe it is creating an opportunity for our children and their education, and I hope that this continues throughout the county. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Legislator Johnson.
Yes, sir. I was gratified at committee when these schools came and committed and have already put, as she said, skin in the game. So in this case, the communities have put money in it going forward before they came to us. I congratulate them for that. This is a study, and I support the study. However, as I mentioned then, when it comes back to us as a real proposal, I fully expect that distance learning be thoroughly analyzed. In this 21st century, and we're already a quarter through it, it makes a lot more sense to move electrons than it does to move kids on buses.
Thank you. Any other comments? Legislator Larson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It occurs to me that for most of us in the room, including legislators, we probably just have the agenda in front of us, and the agenda doesn't indicate how much money is involved in Resolution 82 and 83 coming out of the unappropriated fund balance or slush fund. The town of Pomfret one and related municipalities is $50,000 of county money, and the school one is $100,000 of using our unappropriated fund balance or slush fund. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Legislator DeJoy.
I just want to say that I fully support this resolution and the previous one. I think it's about time that we take a very serious look at consolidation, shared services in a very serious way. I, however, don't share the same sentiment that the measure is how much skin is in the game, because many of these municipalities are coming to this because they are in such desperate need. And, you know, I don't believe that the program mandated some type of match. It's always welcome. I think it's a good thing to have, but I don't think that that we need to measure whether it's a good proposal or not if the municipalities involved don't provide skin in the game or funding, unless it's in-kind type of contribution with staff time. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Any other comments, questions, discussion on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? It is carried.
84-26, designate Chautauqua County as lead agency responsible for state environmental quality review of state-funded snowmobile trail updates for 2026 through 2027 snowmobile season.
Are there any questions or comments on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried.
25-26, authorizing DEC open space grant application and the setting aside of funds for the acquisition and preservation of land in Cassadaga, New York.
Legislator Scudder.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to make a motion to postpone this resolution indefinitely.
Okay, we have a motion to postpone indefinitely Resolution 85-26 and a second by Legislator Gustafson. Any discussion? Legislator Larson.
Mr. Chairman, under our rules or Robert's Rules of Order, I'm not sure what that means. Maybe an alternative would be to refer it to whatever committee it might have come out of, and it can sit in committee until the committee decides that, if they ever do, to send it back to us. So perhaps a referral to committee would comply with our known rules.
Our rules allow a referral to committee. It also allows a tabling, and it also allows a postponement indefinitely. So the motion that was made is in accordance with the rules and regulations of the county legislature.
I apologize. I'm not familiar with the motion to postpone.
Okay.
No, not a problem. I can read from Rule 8A10, postpone indefinitely. The object is to kill a local law, resolution, or motion. That's from our rules.
To kill it, huh? I didn't know if he wanted to kill it or send it somewhere for thinking about it, yeah. I don't care. It's not in my district.
Sure. Any other comments, questions on the motion to postpone indefinitely? Resolution 85-26.
Just withdrawn.
Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? It is postponed indefinitely.
86-26, New York State Department of Transportation undertaking.
Are there any comments or questions on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried.
87-26, authorize acceptance of the New York State Office of Indigent Legal Services Upstate Model Family Representation Office Grant for the period of January 1st, 2026 to December 31st, 2028.
Any comments or discussion on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
88-26, authorize agreement with North Lake Fire District to purchase 2 cardiac monitors.
Any discussion, any questions on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
89-26, authorize agreement with Village of Lakewood to lease space for Fly Car M73 and paramedic.
Are there any comments or questions on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
90-26, authorize execution of New York State Office of Homeland Security Emergency Services IP Network ESI Net Readiness Grant Program fiscal year 2024 through 2026.
Are there any questions or comments on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
91-26, authorize execution of New York State Office of Homeland Security Funding Grant, Operation Stone Garden, fiscal year 2025.
Any comments or questions on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
92-26, authorize agreement with county school districts for school resource officer services.
Any questions or comments on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
93-26, authorize agreement with Clymer Central School District for special patrol officer services.
Any questions or discussion on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
94-26, authorize intermunicipal agreement with Town of Mina.
Are there any comments or questions on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
95-26, provide the federal cost share for the aquatic ecosystem restoration feasibility study for Chautauqua Lake.
Are there any questions or comments on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
96-26, authorizing entry into agreement with County of Chautauqua Industrial Development Agency, CCIDA, for the I-90 Veterans Memorial Commerce Park in Ripley.
Are there any comments or questions on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
97-26, cancellation of uncollectible tax liens.
Are there any questions, any comments on the resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
98-26, quitclaim deeds.
Any comments or questions on the resolution? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Anthony.
Yes.
Mr. Bankowski.
Yes.
Mr. Buchanan.
Yes.
Mr. DeJoy.
Yes.
Mrs. Gustafson.
Yes.
Mr. Harmon.
Yes.
Mr. Heiser.
Yes.
Mr. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Larson.
Yes.
Ms. Lewis.
Yes.
Mr. Merritt. Mr. Nelson.
Yes.
Mr. Pavlik.
Yes.
Mr. Penhollow.
Yes.
Mr. Proctor.
Yes.
Mr. Scudder.
Yes.
Ms. Vanstrom.
Yes.
Mr. Whitney.
Yes.
Chairman Shagnon.
Yes.
Okay. There are 19 yes votes. The resolution is adopted. Okay. 99-26, authorized transfer of tax foreclosure property to the city of Jamestown.
Are there any questions or any comments on the resolution? Legislator Larson.
Mr. Chairman, I believe the resolution only this resolution, probably many others on property transfers, only refers to section, block, and lot kind of identification. I went on our own county's GIS system, and it also, on the GIS system, gives at least a street reference. So anybody looking at a resolution like this can be directed to at least what street are we talking about. I would request in the future that when these resolutions are put together, they take advantage of our own county GIS and tell the 19 legislators what street in the township, what road, at least gives us an idea of what property we might be talking about. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments on the resolution? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Anthony.
Yes.
Mr. Binkowski.
Yes.
Mr. Buchanan.
Yes.
Mr. DeJoy.
Yes.
Mrs. Gustafson.
Yes.
Mr. Harmon.
Yes.
Mr. Heiser.
Yes.
Mr. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Larson.
Yes.
Ms. Lewis.
Yes.
Mr. Merritt. Mr. Nelson.
Yes.
Mr. Pavlak.
Yes.
Mr. Penhallow.
Yes.
Mr. Proctor.
Yes.
Mr. Scudder.
Yes.
Ms. Vanstrom.
Yes.
Mr. Whitney.
Yes.
Chairman Shagnon.
Yes.
There are 19 yes votes. The resolution is adopted. 100-26, Annual Public Disclosure of Elected Officials' Salaries.
Are there any questions or comments on the resolution? Legislator Scudder.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's puzzling to me why Resolution 100-26 was not brought before any committees last week, but directly to tonight's legislative meeting. We have a process of reviewing and discussing resolutions in committee where questioning and possible debate takes place to make us more informed as to how we might vote on the resolution. I would guess that 98% or more of non-emergency resolutions go through committee. Why this particular resolution did not is puzzling to me and also a little disappointing. I am totally in favor of Resolution 100-26, but I would have loved to have the opportunity to add my name as a sponsor. I would like to suggest that in the future, all resolutions, except emergency ones, go through committee so we can do our best work as legislators for the great people of Chautauqua County. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Legislator Larson.
I have no objection to if there are 18 other legislators that want to lend their name to this resolution. I believe it's perfectly appropriate that they be allowed to sign their names to it this evening and be on record in favor of this public disclosure. Why not send it to committees? Well, this one was so self-evident that this particular legislator who took the time to actually write a piece of legislation just thought that it's so self-evident, let's just bring it here tonight. And apparently it is self-evident. Legislator Scudder says he would like to join in being a sponsor. You don't need my permission to add your name as a sponsor based on my memory as county attorney and sitting up on that dais. I would ask that, Mr. Chairman, the clerk, allow any legislator that wants to be added as a sponsor this evening, they be allowed to do that, in addition to voting in favor of letting the public know. I thought the whereases explained things perfectly clear, and in defense of this legislator, I wasn't going to bring this up, but now I will. 2 years ago, when a local law came along to increase the county clerk by something like $17,000 in a lump sum, January 1 of this year, and increase the sheriff by a lump sum, which won't take place till next year after his reelection. He's unopposed. And the lump sum increase for the executive starting January 26th. I did point out to the legislature that night that local law did not tell the public or the legislators what the salary of the county executive was even the night we passed the local law. So there's nothing in the public record that tells you what the salary is since introductory local law 7 of 2016. And it's just ridiculous that a citizen would have to do a Freedom of Information request or call the payroll department and ask, gee, what is the county executive making this year? So since my request was ignored 2 years ago, I felt free to draw this resolution, bring it here tonight. I had a feeling for once Legislator Larson's sponsorship would not be the kiss of death, and that it might pass 19 to nothing. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Legislator Johnson.
Back to the process of referring to committee, which I think is helpful. But when we're talking about making public the salaries, which of course we should do, what are we talking about, prospectively or the last fiscal year or what? And the reason I ask is because if you want to know anybody's salaries for the full year of 2025, it's 2 clicks away on your phone.
Okay, so are you posing a question or are you making a comment?
So it's really a comment.
Okay.
I would rather it go through committee to answer questions like that.
Yes.
Because if it is retrospective, the data is all there and you could compare it to other counties and it's as easy as pie, and this is unnecessary.
Okay.
But if it's prospective, then it's something new.
Thank you. Other comments, questions? Legislator Anthony.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. I am all for favor of Resolution 126, as it is public information, and I am all for transparency. Although the way this resolution was not sent through committee, as we've discussed tonight, that's not in the form of transparency. We've been told in this legislature that that's what we're here to do, is talk and do what's best for the people of Chautauqua County. And while this is more of an informational resolution, I still would like to see it go before at least the Administrative Services Committee, as this does affect the workload on behalf of our clerk. So I would like to make a motion to send this back to Administrative Services Committee for review to go from there.
Okay, so you're making a motion to refer Resolution 100-26 back to committee.
Yes.
Is there a second to the motion? Legislator Vanstrom. Okay, so discussion on the motion to refer back to committee, Resolution 100-26. Legislator Larson.
Mr. Chairman, I've only heard one question about the resolution. That was from fellow legislator Fred, and I can answer the question. The reason the resolved is no later than April 30 of 26, the clerk will post publicly what the salaries are for elected officials. Because what we did, Legislator Johnson, when I didn't, but when the legislature created an automatic cost of living adjustment each year, our finance department payroll folks, at some point at the end of 2025, they make a calculation of what the consumer price index, the appropriate consumer price index is in the local law. They calculate what the salary is for the coming year of 2026. So until they do that, our clerk would not be able to extract what the salary is for 2026. So going to See Through New York website is not going to tell you the 2026 salary of anybody. It's all historical. So I can answer that question for Legislator Johnson. If there are no other questions about letting the public easily find out what we're making, under current law, we're going to have a cost of living adjustment as legislators January 1 of 27. And nobody knows, we don't know what that's going to be. And until the bureaucracy says what the adjustment is, nobody knows, including us as legislators, what our pay is going to be in 2027. This resolution simply, clearly, no doubt, lets the clerk know, check with our own payroll department on or before April 30, and put it on the website, public record of this legislature, and keep it there forever. What was our salary in 27? What is it in 28? What is it in 29? And that's the downside, legislators, of having the automatic cost of living adjustments. We don't know what those are until they're calculated by somebody and applied. And the public has a right to know that for example, our county executive this year is at $135,400. You can't find that anywhere. I only know because I asked the office to find out, and they came back and let me know what they found out. It's ridiculous that a reporter for the Post-Journal even has to call and beg for information on, gee, what is the salary this year? So I've only heard one question, and I've answered that one question. I would ask that it not be referred. But if you want to give me publicity next month or the month after about open disclosure, I guess I'll vote in favor of sending it to committee. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions on the motion to refer to committee? Legislator Johnson.
Just one technical one. So sure, we get to add the cost of living factor to the historical number that See-Through New York has, but we're not going to know what raises or what changes in scale or whatever else happens through the rest of 26 to in fact give us a number for the year of 26 until 26 is over.
Okay. Any other questions, comments, discussion on the motion to refer to committee? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Anthony,
Yes.
Mr. Pinkowski,
Yes.
Mr. Buchanan,
Yes.
Mr. DeJoy,
Yes.
Mrs. Gustafson,
Yes.
Mr. Harmon,
Yes.
Mr. Heiser,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Larson,
Yes.
Miss Lewis,
No.
Mr. Merritt, Mr. Nelson,
Yes.
Mr. Pavlik, Mr. Penhollow,
Yes.
Mr. Proctor,
No.
Mr. Scudder,
No.
Miss Vanstrom,
No.
Mr. Whitney,
No.
Chairman Shagnon.
Yes.
All right, there are 13 yes votes and 6 no votes. The motion to refer back to committee is carried.
Okay, so that concludes our discussion on the resolutions. And at this point, before we get into announcements, I would like to ask the legislators if there are any comments or any questions regarding the potential changes to the administrative code that were presented to all of the committees last week. This is our last opportunity for giving our comments, questions to the county executive before the county executive enacts those changes, those potential changes. Legislator Larson.
I'll take a swing at this one since we're going to start Major League Baseball season. For the benefit of the legislators and everybody in the room and the press, as I recall, the promulgation of the code is done by the executive, and it stands unless there's a 2/3 rejection vote by this legislature. Obviously, we're not going to have a 2/3 rejection of the code, so but that's the procedure. We don't vote to approve it. We have to do a reverse veto to reject it. And that's the procedure that would be followed. And obviously, that's not going to happen. So when the executive promulgates the new code, that will do it. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Legislator Larson. I explained this in each of the committees that the process is that the county executive promulgates his changes to the administrative code. Legislature gets a chance to approve or disapprove. But because the Charter and Code Review Commission brought forth a substantial number of proposed changes to the charter and to the code, I felt it was appropriate that the legislature get a chance to review and understand the proposed changes to the administrative code so that when we would have an opportunity to make suggestions to the county executive before he promulgated it. So that's the reason that we went through this process. As you point out, it's not required to do it that way, but I wanted to give the legislature a greater opportunity to review the potential changes before they were promulgated. So thank you for opening that door for me so I could explain it again. Now, are there any other questions or suggestions regarding the administrative code? Hearing none, we will move on to announcements. Are there any announcements for the good of the order? Legislator Gustafson.
Yes, I would just like to let everyone know that Archie's at the airport is now open and operating 7 days a week for breakfast and lunch, and we invite you up to the Chautauqua County Airport in Jamestown for a great meal.
Thank you. Legislator Scudder.
Yes, I'd like to give my announcement time to Sheriff Quattrone, please.
Thank you, Mr. Scudder. So in light of the announcement with the inclusion in the Special Olympics, I'd like to let everybody know on April 16th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at either the Applebee's in Lakewood or the Applebee's in Dunkirk. They have a law and order dinner where you have an opportunity to make a donation to Special Olympics, and part of the proceeds of the dinners will go there. And I will be at the Dunkirk Applebee's helping serve. We'll have other officers down at the Lakewood. So I would invite all of you, as well as everybody in the galley, to be there. I'd also invite all the legislatures to join us in the law enforcement torch run. One's on Wednesday, May 27th at Fredonia. It starts at Dunkirk High School. And the second one is Tuesday, June 2nd. Starts at City Hall and runs through Strider Field. It is a slow trot, but you're all welcome to join us. And they both start at 9 a.m.
Thank you. Legislator Nelson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to announce that the St. Susan Center is having their annual basket fair this Saturday, March 28th. It's their largest fundraising event. The doors open at 11, and they announce the winners at 2 o'clock.
And whereabouts is it?
At the Flumana Community Church.
Thank you.
Question. Yeah.
Thank you. Legislator Larson.
On the subject of the new restaurant at our county airport terminal, County Airport, Jamestown, town of Ellicott, I drove up there the other day, and just a suggestion to those involved, which I'm not, there used to be, whenever there was a restaurant at the airport, on the sign at the road, they hung a separate sign that said restaurant, and I didn't see a sign indicating restaurant yet.
The signs have been ordered and they will be up by the end of this week, both at the road and on the building.
Good. That's good. We wish them the best, right? And with all the FedEx employees next door, it might be a good time to try a restaurant up there again. Thank you.
Legislator Pavlik.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before our next meeting, another very important event will take place, and I would just promote that each community has several churches within their districts, and we have the celebration of Easter coming up. And I think just pointing out that that celebration is very important, and anyone that is looking for something in their life or something different or some sort of hope, I think attending one of those church services is very important. So probably the most informal, in my opinion, announcement or discussion we've had this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Legislator Whitney.
I've been up to the restaurant up at the airport, and I go out every morning for breakfast to a local place in Jamestown, and at most it costs me $2 more. So it's very financially affordable, and if Mr. Scudder would like to go to the airport someday, I'll buy you breakfast. I gotta get your picture, just so you know.
I will be there for lunch tomorrow, Bob. Thank you.
I'll give you lunch tomorrow. You'll be there anyway?
I didn't invite you. I
Oh.
just said, I'm going to be at lunch tomorrow.
Oh, okay, well, good for you then.
You're welcome to come.
Okay, any other announcements? And that concludes our announcements. I'm happy to hear we had some announcements this evening. Thank you. And that brings us to our second privilege of the floor. Members of the public may comment on any subject. A member of the legislature may speak on any subject. Individual comments are limited to 3 minutes, and comments representing a group shall be limited to 5 minutes. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Mike D. I'm from Silver Creek. I'm speaking on behalf of myself. I'd like to speak a little bit more on things that have happened around the CLCPA and the green energy movement this past week. So we've known for a long time that zero requirements of CLCPA are just not possible economically or technically, all right? And we know that continuing to put money into that is economically ruinous. Once again, I'll say it. Just look at England, look at Germany, what's happened to them. Now, there has been a good thing happen here. After 7 years, our governor finally admitted the impossibility of CLCPA, but she stopped short of asking for it to be repealed. What she did was to ask the legislature, because the courts forced her to do this, to modify CLCPA by pushing off the dates by which we had to meet certain goals to 2031, which is conveniently kicking the can down the road till after she is definitely out of office. Whether she wins next time or not, doesn't matter. We've already wasted $79 billion in this state on the wind and solar and battery stuff you see running around here. At most, we get 10% of our current electrical energy from wind and solar after all that time. All right? And, as I've mentioned before, and I'm glad to show anybody the calculations, in order for us to meet net zero, now we're talking out to 2050, would require, and that's to meet the requirements of 98% assurity against a blackout, given a 4-day Dunkelflaute period, I've talked about Dunkelflaute before, would require 40 times more wind and solar than we have right now, and about 200 times more battery, BESS, B-E-S-S, you've heard of it, okay? It's economically totally unfeasible, all right? It would be like $3.6 trillion every 10 years just for the batteries, because they have to be replaced that often. So I would just like to encourage the legislature and anybody else here to do anything you can to stop us from throwing away good money after bad, to resist putting any more of this stuff in our backyards, to resist these silly pilot programs that don't help anybody, and we're not seeing anybody going to work there. So my request is simple. Do what you can to resist any more of this nonsense. Otherwise, we're going to totally take the state broke. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, to address the second privilege of the floor.
Karen Engstrom from the town of Chautauqua, and I'm speaking for the group Chautauqua Energy Watch regarding the adverse human health effects of industrial wind in our community. Support and guidance is needed because developers know that our rural towns are isolated. And when they see that, they know it works to their advantage. So this past week, a number of people presented their experiences to the Chautauqua County Board of Health. The first one was from the town of Forestville, and her experience was with the Ball Hill Wind. She's a farmer, and I'd like to quote an excerpt. You do have the full transcript of the Chautauqua County Health Board in your possession. She says, I am a farmer, and I live with 3 600-foot wind turbines in the back of my property and 3 500-foot wind turbines in the front of my property across the road. The 500-foot turbines are less than a half a mile away, and the 600-foot turbines are less than a mile away. When it began in October 2023, I began to experience headaches, severe migraines, sleep disruption, dizziness, tinnitus, nausea, vomiting, spontaneous vomiting, equilibrium disruptions, and heart issues, such as palpitations and rapid heart rates. The twirling of the turbine blades is a constant visual disruption. The proximity of the turbines causes severe debilitating shadow flicker, and these symptoms affect my ability to work outside. As a farmer, it is very debilitating. When I drive downtown to Forestville, which is 2 miles away, the symptoms disappear. The second speaker said, I live in the Casadega Wind Project with 3 turbines in front and 3 on the side and 3 behind. When they are running, it sounds like a jet plane that never lands. The noise, the vibrations, the shadow flicker are very aggravating. The mental stress and the construction that went on for 2 years. There is no wind turbine police. And at night, it is simply a pounding, pounding, pounding noise close to the house, 1,700 feet away. Our property taxes were supposed to go down, and they actually went up. The third person lives in Arkwright Wind Project, and her closest turbine is 1,400 feet away. Her ears began to ring, and the tinnitus has been so bad that she claims it's going on there day and night and day and night, and it never stops. That it has destroyed her life, and that her 28 grandchildren and great-grandchildren, she describes 8 of whom cannot come to visit her because they become nauseous when they come to her home. The fourth person is a person who is also in Arkwright, and she has found the sound unbearable in the 7 years. Now, you may well know that there was a lawsuit of 150 people in Arkwright that are silent because of the lawsuit. The reason these people brought their concerns to the health board was because the health board issued a recommendation to the towns that the only safe setback for wind turbines, and all audiologists who study this know that distance is the only protection, and they recommend 4-mile distance for setbacks. Our health board recommended a 1.5-mile setback. You have before you the New York Department of Health testimony, which recognizes health-related effects of audible noise from wind turbines, which include annoyance, sleep disturbance, cognitive performance reduction, effects on social behavior, cardiovascular effects, and psychophysiological effects. So towns in our area are trying to write laws to protect their communities, but they're writing these laws in isolation, and that is a tremendous advantage for the developers. So we're hoping, I also provided another document which just came out last week, 23 cases of wind turbine sickness in the Barren Hills Wind Project in a newspaper article. It just began in December, so it's been 4 months, less than 4 months, and these people, 23 of them, are sick. So that is the situation, and we hope that the positive effects of the suggestion or recommendation that the Dunkirk power plant be reactivated could alleviate the scam that these people are perpetrating on our communities. But in the meantime, we have one recommendation. There are 3 listed here. I'll end it. If you required that no PFAS or PFOS, the very substance that contaminated the drinking water of Mayville, was not allowed in any components of energy projects, no PFAS or PFOS, those are forever chemicals. The state should have done that long ago. If that requirement were put forward countywide, that would be a very responsible environmental position to take, and it would protect the towns across the county, and it's been done. So I can show you where it has been done. It has been done. Several towns have done it, so thank you very much.
Thank you, Karen. Anyone else to address the second privilege of the floor?
Good evening again, Sheriff Jim Quattrone. I just want to address a comment that was made earlier tonight. The county executive has not reached out to me regarding police services and any consolidation efforts. And I believe because on either February 13th or 14th, I had reached out to him with a text message saying this may be the time that we should consider consolidation. And part of the reason I did that was a meeting, I believe it was in December, with all the chiefs of police, which a conversation came up that we should start considering consolidation. The reason that came up is the difficulty in finding staffing and we wanted to be able to provide the best services for the county. I, again, discussed this with the chiefs last week regarding whether we wanted to move forward with doing some of our own investigation and research on this. I'm still of the mindset that we should only consider police consolidation when the chiefs and the communities that are involved are asking for it, are in favor of this. I also don't think we need to continue to do studies. There's been study after study after study done on this. And as I read some of them, I truly believe they were set up for failure from the beginning in the way they were set. So I don't think any of you are in the best position to evaluate what the best police services are. And I think that should be done by professional police executives. We are starting to work on that. We are very early stages, but we will continue to figure out what is needed for different parts of the county and variations of any type of consolidation. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to address the second privilege of the floor?
Evening, my name is Anthony Toda, and I live at 144 Clifton Avenue, Jamestown, New York. I am making my opinions and comments based on media reports and my own experiences. I recently contacted the Federal Public Defender's Office to attempt to offer relevant and mitigating evidence and evidence of shared responsibility for the May 14th, 2022 Biden-era Tops Market massacres. The 18-year-old defendant at the time of the murders, Peyton Genron, is facing the death penalty in federal court. Yet the federal public defender will not contact me to be interviewed, potentially suppressing evidence I may offer. There is a shared responsibility here, like there was in the Slenderman attempted murder case, where two young children were told by an internet meme to kill their girlfriend or their parents would be killed. I personally attended 5 days of the Slenderman hearing where no such shared responsibility was given to any website. No responsibility has been given to the radical extremist websites or platforms that prompted Mr. Gendon to allegedly commit mass murder. Who is behind these radically biased websites? Why hasn't the FBI investigated these radical sites in the Gendron case? I videoed statements by an ex-FBI agent made one day after the top shootings who stated that the FBI can't possibly track activity of radically extremist sites or track the continuing threatening statements of upcoming dates, location, and targets allegedly made by Mr. Gender months before the top shootings. After this, this is after Edward Snowden exposed federal agency eavesdropping on cell phone and internet statements of potentially every U.S. citizen. Further, my attempts to report evidence of FBI crimes, including entrapment upon myself, has been suppressed by Senator Schumer and Gillibrand and Representatives Reed and Langworthy. It is illegal and immoral to allow federal intelligence agencies who may have been negligent in duties to recognize internet threats, respond to such threats, and prevent crimes to escape responsibility in this murder case. And also escape responsibility for the Parkland, Florida murders under FBI Director McCabe. It is illegal and immoral to fail to hold radical extremist websites responsible because such sites or platforms provide a means to justify and cultivate ideas and activities that led an 18-year-old Mr. Genron to allegedly act. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to address the second privilege of the floor? We have a motion to adjourn by Legislator Larson, a second by Legislator Anthony. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned.